All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 765. I'm your host, Cheapy here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who I forgot what I was going to say. So just fill in the blank.
Really?
Yeah.
You were so confident going in.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. That's why I write things down.
I guess. I'm a little disappointed.
I got to push a lot of buttons before the show starts. Between the time where I come up with something right before the show,
I'll
and then
tell you
when
what
I say
buttons
it,
you push.
your love buttons,
It's my love button.
your nipples, you mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is hot. The show's getting hot.
Already. It's
Yes.
CAGcast After Dark.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hot time in the summer in the city.
Oh, it is hot. Hot.
And we just got back from Shipwreck, and I got back from separate vacations.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Well,
the
that's how
same.
you guys grow closer. You take separate vacations, and then when you
We come back,
home-
we appreciate each other more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's what was behind it.
You
I was-
keep telling yourself that.
So the question that all the listeners want to know
Mhm.
was the 25 hours of Marvel movies worth watching to prepare for the 90 seconds of rides?
Well, it was more than 90 seconds of ride. So we went to Disneyland, right? The California version of Disneyland.
What's the
Because-
difference between Disneyland and Disney World? I don't know the answer to that, and I've been embarrassed to ask until
Okay,
now.
so Disney World is the Florida version.
Is that the better one?
I wouldn't say it's the better one necessarily. They're all
It's
good.
big. It's bigger.
Okay.
Like so much big. It's two Manhattans put together is how big Disney World is.
That's a lot of Manhattans.
Florida.
It has Epcot. It has whatever the
Animal Kingdom. It's got
whatever they
Hollywood
call
Studios.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios. So
See,
it
I
has
didn't even
the-
know that was a thing. There's something called Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that's where the Aerosmith roller coaster is.
That's not a thing.
That's
It's-
definitely a thing.
That not only is that a thing, it's one of the best roller
The
coasters.
rock and
I've
roller
ever been on.
coaster.
Yeah,
There's an Aerosmith roller coaster.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
take you to their concert.
yeah, and there's
The
like a
cars
little
with, like,
movie.
limousines.
Yeah,
You've
That's-
never ridden?
I never even heard of that. And I'm Aerosmith. Well, I'm not anymore, but I know
You got to get
Aerosmith.
it's worth a trip just for that because they're gonna probably turn it into like some Marvel thing at some
Ed
point.
Sheeran's
when we
Wild
went
Ride.
to Hollywood Studios, my daughter was much younger, and they have this like go take a ride through the years of Hollywood, and at one point you go through a tunnel that's from Alien, and the xenomorph pops down from the ceiling. And to my daughter, all she knew she didn't know what an alien was or Alien the movie. She just knew it was a space movie and assumed it was Star Wars. And she did not watch. She still refuses to watch Star Wars because she was scared by the alien from Alien when she was 5.
I thought you were going to say the alien looked like Steven Tyler,
No.
and that's why she was confused.
Anyway, I will let Shipwreck talk about his fabulous vacation.
Yeah. So Disneyland's the original,
Got it.
right? Like that one started first. There's two parks there. They have Disneyland and California Adventure. They're right next to each other. It's much smaller. It's a lot easier to get around. Like we stayed at the Disneyland hotel that's there on property. So everything's like walkable, right? A good walkable of like 8 to 10 miles a day of walking around the parks.
Right.
No, it was a lot of fun. Like I had not been to any of the Disney parks that had the Star Wars Galaxy Edge. Had not been to one of those yet.
So they
That
both
is-
have that, right?
Both World and Disneyland have that, and then Disneyland Paris is in process of building that as well.
Tokyo doesn't have it.
But Disneyland has a bigger Marvel section, though, doesn't it?
Disneyland has Avengers Campus, yeah,
Mhm.
which is also going in Disneyland Paris. I don't know. I haven't been to Disney World to know if they've stuck all the Marvel stuff somewhere yet.
So how was Avengers Campus?
Let's talk about Star Wars first.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
The-
didn't mean to ruin your
The
flow.
Star Wars area is the most ridiculous theme park area ever. Like you've been to Tokyo Disney, Cheapy, and you know how like it's just like over the top, like themed everywhere, and it's just like so much
It
detail.
looks
and
like
everything.
money. It looks like money. You look at that and you go, holy shit, that must have cost so much money to make that.
Yes. but it's like, yeah, you turn a corner and here's the Millennium Falcon, like just sitting here like among this like complete like Star Wars town, like
Right.
and it goes on for like quite a bit, right? Like you can walk around in Star Wars for a while, and there's only 2 rides there. They're both really good. One of them you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon. You get a crew of 6, right? So 2 people get to be the pilots, 2 get to be gunners, and 2 get to be engineers.
How can they be 2 pilots? Someone's controlling left and right, and someone's controlling up and down.
Why don't you ask Han
Somebody's controlling
Solo
left and right.
Chewbacca?
Somebody's controlling up and down and the warp speed,
Okay.
the warp drive.
I feel like we could cut costs and have 1 pilot, but okay, I'll allow it. Today's fast-paced world, we got to keep those costs low.
So it's just ridiculous. Like we went into the cantina, we had like reservations to go have drinks and snacks at the cantina. Had some blue milk.
Do they play the music when you're in the cantina?
So there is the old robot pilot from Star Tours, the original Star Wars ride. He is now no longer the pilot when they replaced him with C-3PO years ago. He is now the DJ in the cantina. And so he plays like Cheapy's Beep Boop remixes of like the cantina music. And there's like all this original, like,
so is it like
club music that's like Star Wars themed, but not like, here's the Imperial March, like clubbed up. It's like, no, this is like unique music that they're playing.
So is it Jizz? Do they play Jizz?
I told my kids this is Jizz.
Okay, good. I want to make sure that you're using the right words.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Jizz. And then
you said Jizz as much as possible, right? You just kept saying Jizz.
Yeah, they can't stop you.
This is some hot Jizz.
Wars, that's the only place in Disneyland where you can just say Jizz as much as you want.
You can just, as long as you're there, you can be like, I love Jizz.
You can like be having 1 foot up into Frontierland, and then the other foot in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and you can just say Jizz all you want. They're watching you just to see if you put that foot down.
I just imagine you sitting around your table, enjoying your snacks, talking very loudly to your kids, asking them if they're enjoying the hot Jizz, just making sure that everybody hears Jizz as much as possible. You go, no, what do you mean it's Jizz? And then you explain it to them, and then they get you arrested.
I'm sure the people that work there have never heard these jokes.
No,
I mean the other guests. I know. People that work there must be sick of it all. Sick of it, just sick of it all. Like, I mean, I'm sick of it all,
Jizz.
and I haven't been there.
You need to go. You need to go.
It's too much Star Wars, man. Like, they ruined
only
it.
2 rides. And Rise of the Resistance is the other ride.
Yeah.
And it is the most insane. Like, if you thought they spent money elsewhere,
Right.
like that, you just got to be thinking dollar signs the entire time. Like,
Right.
It's like 2 different rides. Like, you get on, you walk in, they're like, oh, we're going to be taking off with, I don't remember if it was Akbar or, I can't tell. They all look the same. All that race.
Racist. Those squids? You're saying all squids look the same?
They all look the same.
Mon Calamari, yes.
Yes, Mon Calamari. That
Great
almost
name.
seems racist too to call them that.
Yes.
But you like get on like a little, like, I don't know, a little cruiser with him, right? Like he's taking you somewhere for the Resistance, and you're like standing up in that, like you're like on a subway car type of thing.
Yeah.
And you're flying along, and then that gets, I don't know, it gets shot down or captured or whatever. And then like the doors open up, and there's like Resistance guys outside, like saying like, "Come on, we gotta go!"
Right,
and
real
so,
actors.
You're like, actors there, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna run to the next part of this ride.
That's cool.
It's cool. And then you get to the next part of the ride, and you do all that stuff, and it's really good.
I feel like the other guests would annoy me, though.
Did you go on the giant Ferris wheel?
Yes, I did not throw up. Mrs. Shipwreck nearly did.
I don't think I could handle that. That's why I asked.
So
I
the
could
giant
probably
Ferris
handle
wheel-
every other ride there, but that.
The giant Ferris wheel. There's ones where the cars are just stay still, right? Like a normal Ferris wheel. And this is in California Adventure. But then there's other cars in it, containers, people, cages, whatever they're called, that are hanging on basically like roller coaster wheels, right? They're on a track. And then the track itself is, do you remember the He-Man attack tracks, I think was the name of that vehicle?
I had that.
Yeah. So it looks kind of like that, like a triangular shaped with rounded ends. And so like, as you're going around this Ferris wheel, your entire car is swinging around that shape.
Barf.
No, thank you.
But yes, Avengers Campus, they played like the Avengers music the entire time you're in there.
So
Just
you're
like
so pumped
nonstop.
up. You're so pumped
you're
up.
so pumped up the entire time.
I gotta punch something. I gotta punch something. Come on. Where are the aliens? Somebody say something. Somebody cut in line. I'm gonna fucking punch you right in the face. Was that where the other guests behaved well, or did you see any shenanigans?
Except for there was like one guy that like the Black Panther guard, the Dajlami, whatever that they call those.
The Dora Milaje?
Dora Milaje. I don't know. Blah 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 blue.
The blonde lady, the bald ladies.
Yeah, the bald ladies.
Yeah, just say that.
They were coming out and doing like a little show, right? They're like teaching you how to do self-defense or like learn how to fight like them and everything. So there's a bunch of like kids, right? Like that are up there doing it. Like my kids are up there like punching around and it's fun and everything. And then there's just like this one guy that's just like constantly making like the gorilla sounds.
No.
Like that they make he was an African American gentleman, but he was like really into like the show, like character wise. But like he was like talking over them. So like then they got into character and like had to like talk him down.
He was too excited. He was too excited. Okay.
Too excited.
Okay.
Like just like shouting
I was going in a whole other direction for a second.
Same.
Yeah.
Just somebody who was too excited and you're like, sir, you're not part of the show, sir. You're just good watching.
That's
over here.
better. I feel better about this situation now. Are there any rides there?
There are. There's Spider-Man's Web Slingers, which is fantastic. We rode that 3 times, I think. That was
is that a dark ride or a roller coaster?
It's a dark ride. It's on one of those like magnetic tracks. That's how they do a lot of this stuff now. So it goes in different directions. And then you're shooting spider bots, it tells a whole story there. But you don't have guns or anything. You're just making the Spider-Man motions with your hands. And it's shooting out webs and hitting things.
More money, so much money.
And you can pull things, like you can grab onto things and pull them with your webs.
Right.
And then they have Guardians of the Galaxy, which is what they turned Tower of Terror into. So it's all Guardians of the Galaxy themed, which is fantastic. And then we also got to see opening weekend of Rogers the Musical while we were there, which everyone knows came from the Hawkeye show. Everybody remember that?
That's a good show, the Hawkeye show.
The musical is good. So that was part of we needed to watch 25 movies worth of things as well. So understand Rogers the Musical. It all paid off. Fantastic. The only cheap I told you about this briefly, but when you're at Disneyland, you still see like there's not as many, but you still see the guys with like the black t-shirts with the black American flags on and like talking about how much they love guns and freedom and family and stuff.
Right.
Like at Disneyland, like it's like, couldn't you just take the day off? Like there was a guy like with Winnie the Pooh who was holding like an AK-47 and it said like, get strapped or get clapped.
I don't even know what that means.
We were in
I think it means that if you don't wear a condom, you're going to get an STD.
See, that's helpful though. That I would approve of.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
But we were in
it's Disney.
We were in Disneyland, but not only were we in Disneyland,
right?
We were in a reservation breakfast thing, like where you meet characters, right? Like Winnie the Pooh is literally there to be met at this restaurant. And this guy's got a shirt with Winnie the Pooh holding the AK-47.
What did Winnie the Pooh have to say about that?
I think
he said, "Oh,
that guy had to turn his shirt inside out or change it or something."
You think so?
I think so. I think so. Like you can wear the gun shirts. I don't think that Disney's okay with you giving Winnie the Pooh a gun and walking around the park with it.
See, that's why I can't go to any of these places. It would bother me.
We only had one other incident where we got to see some backstage areas of Space Mountain.
Okay.
Because when we got on, the people that got on ahead of us were causing a scene. And so they got on.
Ooh. First of all, what's the scene?
So they were holding up the line and they were trying to like they were trying to like swap out people like that were on the other side of the train, like in the exit and get on. And then they had like a kid that was like too small really to be riding, but they were like
they were trying to get like
him.
like a good seat, like a front seat or something. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on with him, but
Meth.
we got on and like, then they pulled like the guy like pulled the train over to the side. Like as we were pulling out, there's like a little area that they're like, nope, you go over to this area. And,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy working there. Push some button to switch the tracks to the the other side of the tracks.
Yeah. So we got to walk through a little behind the scenes area to get back onto a train again.
Do you have to wait online again, or like?
No, it was straight to the front of the line.
Did they take this guy to Disney jail?
It was a woman, and I don't know. I just heard them when we saw them when we left, like out. They were like down below or whatever, and we were talking about it or whatever, and all the workers were talking about how she was like recording everything and.
Oh, you mean after she got pulled aside, she started recording everything in true Karen form.
Mm-hmm.
Behave badly,
right,
and claim the victim after.
It's just just calm down. Like you're in Disneyland. Like,
right, you're gonna get on the ride. It's gonna be fine.
How were the lines, by the way?
Not bad.
Okay, that I was gonna say. It doesn't sound like you weren't able to go on anything. So
no, we rode everything multiple times. I think that we wanted to.
Nice. Is the Indiana Jones ride still there?
It is.
That's a good ride.
It is a good ride.
And we talked offline about the Matterhorn. That still holds up.
That still holds up. Yeah, my kids did not know that there was a Yeti that is screaming at you midway through the ride.
That's the best part.
Yeah, because it doesn't do anything like for the first like third of the ride, and then you just start hearing him yell, and then all of a sudden he's right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And
I thought it was just another badly behaving customer acting out.
I don't know. Yeah, but just about everybody was fine.
Yeah,
right. Like everybody knows the deal. Like you paid a pretty penny to be in there to have fun, like with your family. Like
and the place is like on lockdown too. Like if any place is fucking
get away with anything,
right? If any place is locked down, it's that. Like you're not getting no mischief. Like I wouldn't fuck around there at all. I mean, what are you gonna do? You cut in line, probably like the floor opens up and you fucking drop down into a torture chamber or something.
Exactly.
Maybe not that.
No.
Yeah, but it was a good time. We went to Knott's Berry Farm as well.
I was going to ask you that. That was going to be my question. Did you venture over to Knott's Berry Farm? And I guess the answer is yes.
Is that more roller coasters?
That's more roller coasters. Yeah, it's a
Snoopy.
It's a sister park of Kings Island, which is the park here in Cincinnati. So our passes work there.
Free park.
So.
Good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You went away too, Cheapy.
I didn't know you. Oh, I did. I thought you said we.
You did.
Yes, we went to Mrs. Cheapy and I went to Spain for 6 nights. Well,
did you go on Space Mountain Spain?
We didn't go to any amusement parks at all. Not a single one. We went to Madrid for 2 nights. We went to Ibiza for 2 nights, and then we went to Mallorca, I think is how you say it, for 2 nights. Madrid, it was first of all, it was 100 degrees both days in Madrid that we were there. We went to, they have these huge art museums with all kinds of famous shit in there. Saw Guernica, big ass Guernica, and just tried not to melt and ate ice cream and enjoyed the Spanish piss smell. Now I know what Spanish piss smells like. So, people complain that New York smells like piss. Fucking, I guess every city smells like piss because fucking Madrid smelled like piss.
Yeah, but how was the ham?
The ham was awesome. I ate a lot of ham. Even like the hotel gave you like welcome ham.
Mm-hmm.
Just eat. Here's a plate of ham. You're in Spain. Eat this ham.
You're in Spain. Eat some ham.
Eat like a lot of ham. I was like, all right. So that was really nice. And then we went to. So Madrid was basically just art museums and indoor because it was so fucking hot. Like you can't.
Did you have paella?
We had noodle paella in Ibiza. That's paella with noodles instead of rice. So in this case, they were
so not paella.
No, it's paella. It's a thing. It's a thing that they have. It's called noodle paella in English.
That's okay. I'm sure it was fine. Was it crispy on the bottom?
I mean, I don't remember. I fucking shoveled that shit down. It was so, the flavor was so strong that it was almost overwhelming. Like it was seafood paella. It was like paella concentrate. Like I've had paella here. It was like if you had 10 paellas at once in one paella. And the noodles were just like macaroni, like Kraft macaroni and cheese sized noodles, if that can picture. But it's a famous thing there. It's like the local food there. So that we had in Ibiza. In Ibiza, we stayed at this club hotel. So they imagine like a 5,000 person poolside dance club outdoors, where every night of the week in the summer they have one of like the top 10 famous DJs in the world. Like, and you can get a room at the hotel, which is basically like having your own room at a dance club party, if that was such thing that existed, or your own room at a concert. And when you're on the balcony, like it's just there in front of you, and all the people who spend 50 euros on a ticket are down on the floor, and you can be in your hotel room balcony away from the masses.
It's basically a concert with a private bathroom.
And bed in a hotel room, which sounds like a great idea, right?
Doesn't that sound kind of magical? Like I would want to go see like Coachella that way.
That's what I thought of while I was there. That I was thinking of you two guys. Like you guys imagine going to like a 6-hour concert where you can go down to the floor if you want, but also if you just want to hang out on your balcony and watch from there, you could do that. But
and if I got to take a dump, I could go right inside.
Exactly. So I knew it was going to be loud because I've been to dance clubs
Concerts?
when I was and dance clubs when I was younger. So I knew it was going to be loud, and part of the reason was why I bought those AirPod Pro 2s or whatever, because I knew that they had like this built-in thing when it lets in all the sound, but it drops it down by 20 decibels basically. And I even bought the conventional ones that are just go in your ear. They're just pieces of rubber, but they're designed for music. They drop the decibels down like by 20 or so. So anyway, during it's like 5 hours of DJs. So like they have opening acts and then the one main DJ at the end. The sound level was fine for all the opening acts. But when the main guy gets on, I don't know what the fuck they do. I mean, I know they turn it fucking way up is what they do. But I can't even describe what that is like. It's like a sonic assault. Like they have those weapons that they use to like make people nauseous at like the different consulates around the world. They use them against the U.S. targets. It felt like that. Like we watched those DJs, the end DJs, in our room with the fucking door closed, through the closed balcony door. And the whole thing was fucking just shaking, like boom, 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 boom. I can't even imagine what it's like on the floor when you're right up, like even closer to the speakers. And I doubt that any of those young people are wearing, I mean, some are probably, but I doubt very many are wearing hearing protection.
Who was the best DJ?
That's all basically the same. I got to be honest. Like a lot of them. I
didn't want to say it because I felt like you would just make a face. Okay. No, thank you for reassuring me and my prejudices.
What happens is a lot of these DJs are producers and they make their own songs. So those DJs who have like a big catalog are playing a lot of their own songs throughout their show. But the ones that aren't are playing like current hits. So a lot of like the warm-up DJs, we've heard like a lot of the same songs over and over again. We were there for 2 nights, but it was a lot. Like the sound, it's just like, let's put it this way. This place is fucking situated over the direct flight path of the airport. The planes are flying overhead all day and overnight to the point where like, you're just laughing. It's so fucking loud, the planes flying overhead. But when the show's going on, you don't even notice it because it's just so much. And the weird thing is like the Apple Watch will tell you exactly the decibels that are going into your fucking brain. It must not be able to figure out the bass because it's only showing like 70 decibels, but the whole fucking room is shaking. and your insides are shaking. It's again like the show ends at like 11:30 at night, and that's a whole nother thing. They have to get like the 5,000 people out of this hotel basically, and then they take down the entire set, which is in like the courtyard of this hotel. It's a huge production that they do every night because they have a new DJ coming in every night. It's basically, it's pretty amazing operation. So if you're into DJ, like club music, I would highly recommend going to this place, but maybe stay a little farther away.
I have a feeling that if I ever murder a nun, that my eternal damnation will be staying at that hotel.
It's an experience for sure. Like Mrs. Cheapy, I don't think wanted to go back ever. But it was like torture.
Heard of any of these DJs?
Oh yeah, Martin Garrix is like one of the top. I mean, would you have heard of?
Oh, yeah, it's from Mass Effect.
No, we saw Martin Garrix was the headliner, and no, that's Garrix. Or maybe it's the same name actually. Could be the same guy. He looked kind of weird actually. Martin Garrix was the headliner for one night, and the other night it was Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike, which I wasn't super familiar with. But every night they have a big DJ. Calvin Harris, have you heard of Calvin Harris?
I've heard of Calvin Harris.
He's Friday night. He's Friday nights, every Friday there. So they have deals with all these DJs, and every night of the week is their night. Each different guy every night, basically. They had, and included with the show is you get to go, when that show ends, they have a whole other club across the street that is also owned by the hotel. And then they have another big ass DJ spinning then. But we were done. By 11:30, we were like, we can't. There's no way. So we never made it to that club. And then we went, after Ibiza, we went to Mallorca, which I would highly recommend for any American because, first of all, it's very accessible. They speak English because they get a ton of European tourists who speak English. But just the history there, it's so all the buildings are from 900s or 1,000 or 1,100, castles, narrow cobblestone streets, like Arab influenced architecture because like the Arabs had conquered that place in like the 900s or some shit like that. It's very fucking foreign looking being there, and the food is awesome. The prices are good. Like if you like to drink wine and stuff, like it's just as cheap as the water basically. You can, and coffee, like everything. Food is
Disney was. Everything was so affordable.
Food seems to be like cheap. I think, because European wages are lower and taxes are higher. Things are just expected to be like, no one's looking for like a $15 drink. Like that's not a thing that exists. Like, €5 maybe, sangria, €6. I even drank sangria.
I ate a steak as the Pirates of the Caribbean boats floated by. It was wonderful.
It was only $300 for Disney steak.
Right. But
might not be far off.
I know.
I bet. And
I would love to go to Spain. My nephew got married in Spain last September. We just couldn't go, but yeah. I think he got married in Mallorca.
It's really, out of all three places we went, I would say Mallorca was like definitely the most memorable. And the whole trip is like easy. Like it's not that far. It's like 7 hours there, 8 hours back from New York, which is, like watch 3 movies and you're there. Yeah, it was good. Ate a lot of good stuff too.
I'm glad you guys both had very nice vacations.
Yes.
I didn't go anywhere.
Ooh.
I know.
Summer's not over yet though. It's just getting started.
I don't think I'm going anywhere. My kids are away. They're
Perfect.
both away.
That's when you go. That's when we go.
So it's I would say that's like a vacation, but my kids aren't really that difficult to deal with anymore.
Well, but it's always nice to have like an adult vacation where you can go to a nightclub and
it would be nice one of these days. I did get a car. Does that count?
Only if it's not a Ford Econo something.
It is not a Ford Econo something.
What is it?
It's a Ford Escape.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. How dare you? It's very nice. It's got a panoramic moonroof.
Holy fuck. What does that mean?
It means the whole roof is just a big sheet of glass.
You're gonna enjoy that.
It's kind of cool, actually. It is super cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the kids just sit in the back and lay down now, so
That's
they
not
can look
safe.
up. Well,
Tell them,
when
have
I'm
you told them
driving, it
about the
is.
sky? You can just
that it's
go outside
there.
and look up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but when you're moving in a car and the sky's above you and you can see it, it's kind of neat. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I also have a sunroof.
Wow, it's not the same thing. You're rude. You're just a big rude.
I also have this feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have power brakes?
No.
No
That's
brakes on the Escape.
No. It
You
has a
drag your
You
handle.
can
foot.
escape if you have brakes.
You pull a handle.
Put your foot through the floor.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
That's exciting. So no more Eco
Econoline.
Challenge or
Yeah.
whatever.
Econoline.
EcoSport.
EcoSport.
EcoSport. That's what it
The
was.
EcoSport has gone away.
It's going to India.
Its time has expired.
That is
It's
on a
been
boat, and it's going to India or Jamaica. Is my
No,
prediction.
those things sell for a fortune now because people, for some reason, want them, and yet they stop making them. I think maybe people want them because they stop making. I don't know. I don't care. I got rid of it. I actually have a car now that has a little bit of pickup, and they gave me rubber floor mats, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm happy.
Dude, you're living the life. Rubber
I'm
floor
living the
mats.
life. Hmm.
I have
So,
those too.
I
Me too.
know. I don't.
They're good.
Exactly. It's just because you have it doesn't mean that makes it either
welcome.
a bad.
Welcome to
We're
the
just
world
welcoming
of.
them. Rubber formats.
Jesus Christ.
I have rubber floor mats
guys are just
and
like-
regular floor mats that I can swap out as I feel like it. If I just want to have the rubber floor mats all year long, I could do that. If I feel like I want
But
to
do you have
fancy
the
it
rubber
up,
lining in the trunk area?
I mean, I just leave that in my garage because that's
I do. You
When
should take the Escape somewhere. Go
I know.
Escape.
go drive somewhere. Do something.
There are issues with the little dog where she flunked out of doggy daycare. So we can't leave her anywhere. So
That
when
means
she
m-
finished,
Well, how do you flunk
So-
out of doggy daycare?
she doesn't like to not be around us, and she's not quite there yet. So, for overnight stuff, it sucks.
Take her with you somewhere.
That would not be a vacation. You know
Mm.
how you were saying how the watch could tell you when you hear a sound that's too loud and
Yeah.
might damage your ears? Yeah. When my dog barks, the watch goes off.
Oh, that's not good.
That's
Right.
that would not be a vacation. Oh, poor Luna. She means well though.
Wait, that's the old dog.
No,
What? No, that's a
Team,
new one. You could.
Oh, right.
Couldn't
Team
you?
is the old dog.
Cheapy could have taken her with you.
Yeah.
With him.
Do you want to
back
watch?
to her homeland?
Do you want to watch my? Yeah, you should
Drop her
get
off.
a ticket. Both of my dogs are from Spain.
One-way trip.
Mhm.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, my wife would be very unhappy.
One of my neighbors let their dog off the leash, and their dog was in my backyard this morning while I was making eggs.
That's not cool.
Scared the shit out of me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
If that thing takes a shit in there back there, I'm gonna fucking go nuts. It didn't.
I have to clean a lot of poop in my backyard,
Ugh.
and I don't, and at least I know where it came from, and I still don't like it.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly. All right, let's do some show feedback now that you've heard
Sure.
about our summer adventures.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Miata Skate has to say, absolute zero mention of Final Fantasy, what is that, 16, which is easily the biggest game launching this week, let alone this summer.
This guy always has some shitty comment for us.
Oh, it not only is it a shitty comment, but it is factually inaccurate because that show had not been released when we recorded our last episode, and it was not on the new release calendar. It would have been on the calendar if we did a show last week because it came out that Friday.
Well-
But we record on Wednesdays.
Right. It's more like the game wasn't on the list that we used because the game came out on either Friday or a Thursday, and the list only goes to Wednesday, I believe.
To the Wednesday of when we record. So why don't you shut your stupid fat face and get a life, you dumb loser? Isn't that what
Good
we're all
reviews.
thinking?
Good reviews though.
Yeah. I'm sure it's getting fine reviews.
88 on Metacritic.
That's a lot.
Pretty good.
That's and I know we're all playing it, so we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm almost
Yeah.
finished. I'm almost
Uh-huh.
finished. I'm using I got nothing.
I heard this is the last one.
PS5.
This is the last one. That's why they called it Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're all hoping.
Mhm.
No.
The other ones were just called Fantasy.
I'd like to play that game.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's an action RPG now or something?
It is.
I
It's an action game.
It's a serial now. All right, what else?
Nintendo. Fianaro 5503 had to say, Wombat makes a good point. Game Pass Ultimate, which includes online play, will cost $204 a year. PS Plus Extra, which includes online play, is $100 a year if you buy the annual sub. That's exactly what I was saying. I was looking at the list of games just today on PS Plus Extra. That's PS Mid. And the selection is pretty darn good. I would say at this point, if someone were to ask me what's the better deal, Game Pass or PS Plus Extra, I would probably say PS Plus Extra is the better deal than Game Pass.
What about once the Activision merger goes through?
Well, I mean, again, who knows? It's hard to say because I don't know what games are going to include on that.
It's still
and I don't know if
cheaper.
it's going to go through.
Definitely a lot cheaper.
It's definitely a lot cheaper. It's half the price. It's very interesting. That's all. That no one is. I feel like we're the only people that are talking about that. Like you realize there's like a PlayStation Plus version of Game Pass that's half the price of Game Pass and has just as many games, including both Spider-Man games.
Sony, send money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, now we're Sony fanboys. After someone people call us Xbox fanboys every other week.
Fuck everyone.
So, yep.